So, my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin at 170,000 US dollars. We completely took advantage of our target zone up here last night, reached our target area, and have now reversed from there for the time being. There was some pretty good news out of Japan, and we'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. Tomorrow, the Fed interest rate decision is coming up, and the markets now seem to be slowly but surely, getting ready for a potential move either up or down. Where things could be headed, you'll definitely find out in today's update video. We're going to take a very close look at that. Of course, we'll also be looking at the altcoins and the traditional markets. But before we get started, feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, feel free to join the free Telegram Talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, you're more than welcome to join. You'll find the link for that for free down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we talk about here, then sign up with my partner exchange Binks using the link down in the video description or in the comment section. Right now you can get up to 11,500 USDT in bonuses, and with just a few small tasks, you can have these bonuses generated for you at the start to use for trading. That's one way to put it. Alright, let's dive into the chart. Bitcoin at 107,000 US dollars. Last night, we had a bit of a pump and dump scenario here, which you can see pretty clearly. We came back up. First, there was a pump toward 109,000 US dollars, just like we said yesterday, that the range between 107,600 to 109,000 US dollars is our resistance area. We reached that level. Then, with a 4-hour candle, if we look at it on the 1-hour time frame, it slowly but surely dropped down to the 1-hour 200 SMA. But the 200 SMA was also at that level on the 4-hour time frame. Plus, there was a perfect retest right here. That means, for now at least, we've managed to hold our support. What's important for me, if we close below this level, it's absolutely bearish. As I just mentioned, we got some fairly good news out of Japan. Interest rates will stay the same for now, but there will be somewhat fewer bond purchases. Starting, I think, in March or April 2026, that's going to be scaled back significantly. There won't be any interest rate hikes for the time being. That's already a good sign. However, they also didn't say when interest rates might be raised. For now, the rate remains at 0.5%. That keeps it one of the cheapest countries in the world, and the carry trade can continue for now. So that's good news for Bitcoin, crypto, and of course also for the stock markets, since there's no additional uncertainty for now. Tomorrow, things continue with the Fed's interest rate decision. But as I said, most people are convinced. Basically, we expect that the rates will stay the same, even though there are occasionally some voices saying, no, the rates won't be raised, or rather, the rates will be lowered. There are still a few people who believe that. Let's see what comes out of it tomorrow. Otherwise, as I said, Bitcoin is still in the resistance zone as long as this support down here holds. Everything is still relatively good. If we close below that, it's bearish. If anyone is shorted in this area, bottom edge, top edge, maybe you should at least secure your position. Or if we take another look at the vectors here, at the very least, set your stop loss above 108,700 US dollars for now. Because, as I said, if this support holds for now, we still have the chance to at least reach the all-time high here, up to 111,000 US dollars. It's worth taking a look at the heat map for this, but to be honest, we have to say that it has weakened a bit. It was definitely hotter yesterday. We still have that big chunk at 109,000 US dollars, but toward 111, there really isn't much left to go after. Let's switch to the 3-day view. There, we only have the high from last night left, which might still need to be tested again, but above that, things look weak and there's clearly more liquidity on the downside. It's possible that we'll get another push today during the course of the day, before tomorrow's Fed interest rate decision sends us downward for now. Let's take a quick look at today's news, just briefly, at 2:30 p.m., retail sales figures. That could also be a factor for the Fed. If retail sales keep rising, it's actually a good sign that the economy is still running and people are spending their money. That's going to be interesting. Otherwise, this afternoon is going to be very, very quiet, so 2:30 p.m. could be a bit volatile. Other than that, if this support holds, we'll probably head toward the all-time high or 109,300, or at least the all-time high level is still in play. If it breaks, then we're right back in correction mode. Ethereum. Unfortunately, Ethereum didn't manage to reach our target zone, so we clearly failed here at $2,680. Then there was this sell-off last night, again, with a 1-hour candle, which was much stronger than with Bitcoin, falling back into the $2,520 range. There was a recovery again. Okay. What's important for Ethereum? We need to get back above this resistance. Otherwise, it really looks weak. I really hope that we can still reach this resistance area up here that we talked about yesterday. That means $2,700 up to $2,785. That's the big, thick resistance zone. If we reach that level, it would definitely be a small short entry here as well, just like the example with Bitcoin. But for that to happen, Bitcoin needs to cooperate and at least rise toward $29,000, otherwise things really look pretty bad here. Everything that caused the gains yesterday has been completely smashed back down. So, we're really not seeing a strong picture with Ethereum at the moment. Sure, you could say, okay, the retest happened again here. Yeah, but we've also been stuck in this big range for ages now. So if something's going to happen, it really needs to happen soon. Otherwise, things aren't looking too good. It's the same story with Solana. We talked about Solana yesterday. Okay, it reached the golden pocket, and here again, it actually hit the resistance zone perfectly. If anyone went short here, set your stop loss at entry, take your profits, and you're done. Let the rest run, just let it play out. Otherwise, it's the same game as with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Here too, there's been a retest of our former support zone, or in this case, resistance zone. You can quickly draw the line here. This retest happened. If we can manage to hold this area again now, meaning if we just keep consolidating here or even start climbing back up, that's absolutely bullish. Then we can target the $170 level again. But if that was it and we start dropping here, we can actually move the red box down a bit, because now that's the supply zone right in this area. On the 4-hour time frame, we should be rejected here. Meaning in this area and then head down, that's absolutely bearish. So, at least for now, we have mixed signals in the crypto market. What about the traditional market? Gold? Gold is looking good. Gold has touched our red box here for the first time, or rather, dipped into it. For me, that's still a potential long entry. If that holds, then we're definitely headed toward the all-time high next, toward 3,500 or probably even higher. We can also turn on the pivot points here. I almost forgot about those. That would fit really well, and we could even climb toward $3,600 this month. Never say never, even if it sounds really extreme right now to pump $200 or almost $210, but anything can still happen, depending on what other crazy stuff goes on in the world. Otherwise, let's move over to the traditional markets again. The DAX is holding its support, so according to the analysis we did in the video yesterday, that's matching up too. We went into the red box, got the support, and have now moved up for the time being. But you also have to say, there's not much change here. Considering how strongly crypto surged yesterday, what we're seeing here is honestly really weak. But hey, it happens. Let's move on to the Nasdaq. I really don't like the Nasdaq at all. So here too, even though we got a reasonably good close yesterday, we're only 1.4% away from the all-time high, so there's not much missing now. So for me, it's still the same, either that was already the top, or we'll get a brief all-time high and then it'll go down. So I'm sticking to my opinion. It's very weak, or maybe everything will just be adjusted tomorrow after the Fed. S&P 500 or US Tech 100. Yeah, also only about 2% away from the all-time high. S&P 500 isn't missing much either, although we can take a quick look here. 2.36%, but here too, it's a total sideways or accumulation phase. Some people call it a distribution phase. I'm really not convinced about that. I don't have a good feeling about tomorrow, but let's just wait and see what happens. Otherwise, last but not least, the euro against the US dollar is also completely dead silent. Absolutely nothing is happening there. That means the markets are just completely dead, except for crypto. Very little is happening at the moment. At 2:30 p.m., the US retail sales numbers will be released. We definitely need to pay attention to that. That's really important. The Bank of Japan has brought a bit of calm for now. Still, the outlook isn't exactly great either. We can still take a quick look here, even though there aren't really any forecasts yet, but I also don't think these interest rates will stay like this for a long time. That's another point altogether. But alright, Let's see what today brings. Like I said, as long as the support of 104,000, 105,000 for Bitcoin holds, everything's all good. But only once we've broken through the resistance to the upside. So, this red resistance box, then we can talk about the all-time high. Otherwise, that's it from my side. I think there will be another video later, and otherwise I'd say that's it for today. I wish you all a nice, relaxing day. Take care, leave a like, subscribe, and join the Telegram group. Check out my partner Binks, and otherwise I'd say we might hear from each other again later. Until then, bye-bye, and as always, stay crypto.